Alright, here comes the last part. Alright.
Those boys, they had all been killed and it was my fault. They were my age and a few of them were our friends. It wasn't meant to go like that. They found out, but Daddy protected me, of course. Whoever had anything to do with the partisans was shot without hesitation. Suspicion alone was enough. I betrayed my father, but what was I supposed to do? Should I have betrayed Lapo instead? He was my friend and I loved him, but I also loved my father. Which side was I on? I just listened to my heart. I thought it was the right thing, but instead it was the worst thing I could have done. Once I crossed that threshold, I completely lost touch with reality. Everyone around me had died while I survived everything.
Agent 47. Activation.
I don't remember how things went. I just remember a big light and then photographs were being taken of me. There was a man dressed in white, a doctor, I presume. He was asking me questions, but I didn't understand what he was actually asking me. He wrote something on a piece of paper and then 2 nurses led me away. I was in the mental asylum. Some women were talking to themselves, others cried. Some were even covered in their own filth. Others were violent and tried to hurt themselves any way possible. They started to give me injections. What they gave me made my whole body shake. I broke my vertebrae and an ankle. I think it was called cardiazol or something like that. My body was like a fire that didn't want to be put out. When it appeared to be quenched, it would come back, even stronger than before.
That was weird.
In the end, though, they won.
The
There was no longer any need for therapy. Something inside of me had died. But nevertheless, I insisted on carrying along this painful journey. I was stronger than I could ever have imagined.
My first playthrough, I don't remember the puppets having that two-face thing, so interesting. I'll admit I did one thing differently in the last one. I tried doing that Morse code bullshit and gave up halfway into it. Alright, it's time to end this game, boys. Hello.
Who are you? Wait, wait. I want answers. Don't go away. Talk to me about Martha, please. Martha does not exist. She never existed. She's just a figment of my imagination. Impossible. I remember her. I loved her. I have to accept it. Martha never existed outside of my mind. It's pointless denying this truth. It's extremely painful. And Mother? Is she alive? Mummy is dead. Nobody knows that better than I do, unfortunately. It's useless to try and deceive ourselves. Did I do what I think I've done? Yes, damn it. It really happened. I cut her into pieces and buried her under the bridge. God, all that blood. My God, I knew it. What about Daddy? The soldiers? Did that really happen? It happened. He was shot right in front of me. Fear, pain, shame. I can't remove it. I cannot relive it either. Unfortunately, I knew that already. What about Nanny? Poor Nanny. She really had nothing to do with it. But she died in our villa due to the bombings. We saved ourselves for some time by taking refuge at her house. Privileges for being rich. Feelings don't count for much, though. My poor Nanny. I'm afraid to ask about Lapo. Lapo is dead. He was blown up by a landmine. He got into trouble and paid with his life. My dear friend. Poor boy. Just as I remembered, unfortunately. One last question. The pregnancy? I was pregnant, but then I had a miscarriage. So much blood that morning. And my mind decided that things had gone differently. Who knows what else I was hiding? That's enough now. All of these questions are pointless, aren't they? It's all inside of us. We just need to turn the mirror. Is it not all just the reflection of an unknowable existence? Nothing more than a puppet show. Ready for everything with open arms, even ready to kill. Legs always ready to run. The womb that conceived in sin. Lastly, the mind. To protect us, it has turned us into monsters. Either way, we cannot live like this, can we? I'll take care of it. I don't need to worry. I'll try to sleep if I can. I've got this. On the 26th of July, San Casciano was bombed and the church was destroyed. But I was not there then. I was already in the asylum. Once again, stubbornly, I was not dead. The bombs hadn't killed me, and I had also survived myself. The most absurd test and the hardest one. The war ended some time ago now, both out there and inside of me. I was on the wrong side of the gate, but now I can turn the page. Life is opening its doors again, isn't it? If I hadn't been so lucky to survive myself, I would have thrown everything away. We think that danger is all around us, ready to attack. But the most devious and misleading dangers are the ones that are inside of us. They grow without us realizing. They make us suffer, remain confused, and remove our self-respect. I would have wanted to ask for help, but I was alone. This is my story. Thank you for being here, for listening to me. Now I'm ready to leave. How long will it take to get home?
Hauntingly good. Holy shit. So yeah, when I did this before, I wasn't 100% understanding it. Also, I was kind of like on a 2-hour binge. But basically, the thing I determined was that Martha. Oh fuck! I gotta hold this down. Martha and Ghoulia, there were no twins, it was just Ghoulia. Martha was a creation in her mind when she went through all the trauma and the shit she went through as a child. And you can actually discover this throughout the entire game, and you never really notice it, I guess. One big thing was, there was only 3 bikes in the entire house. better. Holy shit. Last time I only had a 79. Anyways, but basically, the whole premise of it is you discovered everything you've been saying is a lie. There was no Martha, it was just you. And, sorry, close this out. And that's the whole thing, is like coming to terms with what you did. And I'm gonna have to put a giant disclaimer at the start of this whole thing, but yeah, it really does tell a very good story. I can't possibly recommend this enough. Yeah, sure, the horror aspect definitely ends after the second act. It turns into a fucking detective story at that point. But yeah, yeah, it's a real good one. Yeah, yeah. This is Superpunk Gamer, and have a great night. Yeah, bye bye.